Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Police are in North Fargo at what they're calling a murder scene. At this time, they are searching for a gun and a vehicle. They're at an apartment near the corner of 3rd Street and 12th Avenue North, and that's where we find Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop. She's joining us live on the scene with details. Ashley?
That's right, Steph. We're here where the scene is still being processed, where police responded shortly after 3 p.m. on a welfare check to check out a small apartment here. Now, the scene is very limited from what we know. Police are saying that when they arrived, they found a dead man on the floor shortly after 3 p.m. in the apartments behind us. They're calling it a homicide because it looks to be of a violent nature, but they're not saying what weapon or what type of injuries are involved. They're still processing that scene. Now, the police do need your help in finding something, a critical vehicle, they're calling it. It is a black Dodge Ram pickup with the license plate KAT096 North Dakota plates there. We have that information online, so you're going to you could go there, and here it's up on your screen right now, and check that out. Now, police are also saying that this person was not dead for days, just for hours is what it seems, but they're still putting a timeline together. When more is available, we'll bring it to you guys. Back to you, Steph, in the studio.
All right, thank you very much, Ashley, and stick with Valley News Live and valleynewslive.com for updates on this story. We now have new information. The judge has dismissed the final 2 charges against Aaron Knodel, the suspended West Fargo teacher accused of having a sexual relationship with a student back in 2009. Now, this comes after the state filed a motion to dismiss the remaining 2 charges last week. Because of this, the trial set for tomorrow has been canceled. Knodel had already been acquitted on 3 of the 5 charges in April. A tough situation for a local man after finding all his important emails erased and no way to get them back. The local internet provider is apologizing after many of their customers' email accounts were turned off. 2 weeks ago, the email server used by 702 Communications was shut down by Google, resulting in a huge loss for some in the Valley. Valley News Team's Nicole Johnson shows us a local man blowing the whistle on 702 Communications, saying the emails he lost were extremely important in a fight to bring back his family together.
We sit here and wait. We contact congressmen, we contact senators in hopes that someone will be able to help us get them back.
Michael Nygaard is fighting to bring home his 2 nieces after he says they were kidnapped in August. Their mom allegedly tested positive for meth and apparently was afraid of losing custody of her 2 girls.
Panic, absolute panic.
Nygaard has been emailing the FBI, congressmen, and senators. All that work and all those contacts now gone in cyberspace.
My mistake. I probably should have backed them up and done a hard copy, but again, with a web-based email, I didn't think it would be necessary.
He logged on to his email through I-29 Wireless to find a blank screen.
We get into the office and we have calls coming into the help desk saying, my email's down, I can't get to my email, can't get to my email. And so we, started investigating.
Brian Cromit with 702 Communications says it's not their fault. They bought I-29 Wireless from Forum Communications 2 years ago. Cromit says Forum Communications set up the server through Google, and 2 weeks ago, Google shut down that server without any notice.
This isn't anybody's fault, right? I know everybody wants somebody to blame at this point. And if I could take the blame and if I could fix it, I would, but there's nothing we can do here. And so your best bet really, to mitigate loss of data is to have it in multiple places.
Keeping another copy, a lesson Nygaard says he's learned the hard way.
I guess I'll double back up everything now with email, and I'll back up all my files.
Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
Now, Cromit says that he's hoping Google will find a solution to get those emails back, but says it's difficult because they can only be reached by email. Either way, Nygaard says he's going to switch to a different service provider. Well, it's turning into a lovely evening there in the Fargo area. Look at those skies. They are not nearly as ominous as they were just a few hours ago or 24 hours ago. Lisa, what's the latest?
That's for sure. Looking a lot better out there today. We are dealing with the aftermath of the storms from this weekend in some places. Another tornado late last night, early this morning that hit the Mahnomen area. Here's a photo sent in from Ramon Lopez of a semi-trailer that fell. It was knocked over onto a vehicle. And then this was a shed, once was a shed. It's now destroyed in that same storm. This tornado was rated an EF1 by the National Weather Service. It hit around 226 early this morning as those storms rolled through. Estimated wind speeds between 90 to 95 miles per hour, and its length was about 400 yards or 4 football fields and a width of 30 yards. And we certainly had some wind damage across the region this weekend. We are much quieter now. We saw some pop-up storms early this afternoon. Those have dissipated. Just a few clouds out there this evening. We'll expect to see some pretty pleasant conditions for tonight with partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies early on and pleasant temperatures as well in the low 70s. We'll have the latest on our forecast, what you can expect to see for the rest of the work week in just a few minutes.
All right, it's nice to see sunshine and just not as scary looking clouds.
That's right. I think a lot of us could use a break.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Lisa. Well, former Minnesota State University Moorhead wrestler has been sentenced after pleading guilty to rape. Angel Vega is sentenced to 4 months in jail with supervised probation. He has also been fined more than $1,500. Vega pleaded guilty to getting an 18-year-old girl drunk and then taking advantage of her in his dorm lounge last fall. A man charged with the rapes of 2 international students at NDSU now admits that he did it. Stanley Bush pleaded guilty in Cass County Court this morning. The 39-year-old was charged with raping 2 women at knife point at an apartment near campus last December. He's also accused of attempting to sexually assault a 3rd woman. His sentencing date will be set after a pre-sentencing investigation is conducted. Area labor leaders are urging Minnesota and North Dakota lawmakers to oppose the so-called fast-track trade legislation. Now, the U.S. Senate votes on the legislation tomorrow. The American Federation of Labor says it will hurt U.S. trade by stripping Congress of its power to oversee current and future deals. He says the goal of fast track is to approve things as fast as possible with very little debate.
Congress would only be able to vote up or down on the final deal and would not be allowed to offer any amendments. This assures very little oversight or accountability throughout the entire negotiating process.
American steelmakers are seeking help from the government in response to a flood of imports, saying that they are victims to illegal trade practices. Senate Republicans who support Fast Track say it will allow President Obama to toughen trade enforcement laws and help the steel industry. Well, in today's Digging In series, we're talking with local experts about a growing trend for gardeners. Valley News Team's Christy Larson tells us about container gardens.
Whether you live in an apartment or in a house, container gardening has become very popular in our area, and we do have an expert here with us today, and we have Phaedra Junker, and I know you container garden at home all the time, so what should we be doing?
With container gardening, the biggest thing is to start with a vessel that has drainage, and it can be anything. You can plant in something small, you can plant in something large. If you can drill a hole in it, you can plant in it. Start with excellent potting soil. The biggest thing when choosing what you want to put into your container garden is plant what you eat. Plant what is expensive. If you go through a lot of mint over the course of a season, plant mint. Certain things get quite expensive when you're buying them over and over again, so plant those. If it's incorporated into your diet, go ahead and plant it.
And one great thing about container gardening too is you can really control that soil, and that's why it's so important to fertilize as well as make sure that bugs don't get into it.
Exactly. The containers, they do much better if they're fertilized properly. If you do see insects, there are various products out there that you can use to treat them. Some are sprays, some are powder forms.
And lastly too, fairy gardens or miniature landscapes have also been very popular, and this does not have to be something really expensive.
No, absolutely. This is an old ammunition case. I drilled holes in the bottom, planted some succulents in there, and used an old toy to create a scene.
And you can even find things like rocks or maybe seashells that you've collected through some years and even put those into your container or miniature landscape. And if you ever need help, you can also come and ask the experts from Baker's Garden and Gift.
Looks like fun. Thanks, Christy. Now, for more tips on this and from this morning, you can watch the segments on valleynewslive.com. Just look under the video tab. Well, the sky over Fargo-Moorhead will be looking a little different. 2 World War II bombers called Sentimental Journey and Made in the Shade are paying a visit. Just look at those beauties. They're part of the Confederate Air Force, which is a flying museum staffed by volunteers. The planes are here through Sunday, and the ground tours and flights are available at Fargo's Air Museum. Tonight at 10, you'll meet a World War II veteran who flew in one of the planes today. The last time was during World War II 70 years ago. Still